Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to show you how to clean the glass in another oven. This is basically a standard Whirlpool electric oven that you see in a lot of rental units. You get them if you want like a cheaper option in your house and you need an electric range and stove. So at the end of the day, like we're going to show you how to quickly do this. I got tons of feedback when I initially did the cleaning of the oven that remove the door, remove the door, remove the door. So I did a video on removing the door. So if you watched the other video on cleaning the inside of the oven, you can watch the video on how we remove the door. We're gonna remove the door here to show this and clean the glass of this one as well. We're gonna remove it, we'll put it on top of our countertop and we'll show you how we do that. The other feedback we got when we initially cleaned our oven is these oven, you can cut them to fit, but basically they're oven mats. And so what they do is they catch all of the debris, and you're making a pizza and the cheese melts and you don't want it on your the bottom surface of it. You can see how nice and clean the bottom surface of our oven is. The few pieces that are on there are actually pieces that came off of this when I just pulled it out. So this works fantastic. You know, we put it on the bottom tray of our oven, so when we're making anything, we have less cleanup. And that comes off really easy. You can wash it down in your sink. Everything just kind of falls off it. So that's really nice. So let's remove the door. The first thing you need to do in most of these doors is they have these little hinges that just flip up. So you're gonna see that this hinge, there's one on each side, they flip up. You have to get those to flip up. Sometimes they get stuck and you need something that you can just kind of pop them up. So you gotta do that and have something with you. The next thing is, really what we're gonna do is you stand up, we're gonna lift up the door and the door should come right off. So we're gonna show you how to do that really quick. Okay, so for both sides, you're gonna lift up on these little pieces here. These pieces are flat. You're gonna push those up. And the best thing you're going to want to do here is, because one or both are going to have a lot of tension on them. And if you want to get them back in right, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want this piece to wedge right there. And if you do that, when you're pulling the oven out and you hold that there, right, because I know this side's a tension one, this will keep that hinge open. So when you put it back on, it won't be hard to put it back on. So two things you want to do: make sure you don't want to get your fingers snapped in there, right? So you might want to put on, a glove or tape that somehow so it doesn't come up. Because otherwise, once this flips up, this hinge is going to go completely flat inside there. And there's a lot of tension on it to get it back out. Easier. And there you go. And you can see my tape worked great. It held that in place, and both the hinges have the same angle, which means that when we put it back in, it'll be nice and easy. Okay, so now it's much easier to get the inside glass of this clean. There's some screws that are on here. You want to be careful. Like, obviously I covered my counter with an old towel. I don't want to scratch up my counter if it shifts or anything. I don't want to put scratches in my counter. So I did that. You're going to loosen the screws. So there's a couple screws around here that you're just going to loosen, and I only loosen enough to get in there. That's it, because sometimes these are spring loaded, so they kind of flip up, or the door flips down. So you want to make sure that your handle isn't overhanging, because if you unscrew these things and your handle is actually using these screws, it really depends on the oven, but if it is, you don't want that to fall and hit you in the feet. So start loosening your screws and we'll get to the inside to get that glass clean. And I know my glass is not that dirty. So if you're like, well, your glass isn't even that dirty, I get it. You guys said that about my oven as well. I'm trying to show you guys how to actually get inside there and get that clean in case you get grease or streaks or dirt and stuff in there. Okay, now all of these are a little bit different. So this one, you basically, if you move the handle out, so the handle here is what's kind of holding this glass in place. So everything's unscrewed now. So if I move this piece out, this handle piece out, it's going to lay completely flat on the counter. So sometimes you could use a second pair of hands here to do that, but now that's just a handle. So my handle was not connected to those screws. So you can see they're different handles, or different screws. So that's good. But some of them are, so watch your feet. So leave that there. Now, you're just going to basically be able to lift up, and you'll see the glass in there, and we can get that nice and clean. So you can see I'm lifting it up. There's glass inside, right? So I can get this glass clean that's on the outside, get that nice and clean, get this clean in here if there's any fingerprints or that sort of thing on it. You can get that. And then this has actually only got one pane of glass inside here, which is all one piece, right? So you can only clean the front glass of this oven door, and obviously you can get inside on both pieces. So today we're going to use the pink stuff. This is the multi-purpose cleaner. They make it in this. They also, if you have a little bit more tough stains, they make the pink stuff where it's more of a paste. And you can use that with a Scrub Daddy, you know, and it will not scrub. The Scrub Daddy will not scratch your surface, but you can use that and get all those little pieces off. I always like to do the top part first, because then when you're actually looking at it, you can see how clean you actually got it. So you do that, and you can paper towel it and see how good you are. Or I like to use a microfiber towel. The pink stuff is really pretty miraculous on how it works. People use the Barkeeper's Friend as well. It's another option you can do. But you can get all those little cracks and crevices in there. There you go. So the top's pretty clean. So now we're going to do the inside glass. And basically I'm going to do that kind of scrouching down here, put some spray in there so I don't have to take everything completely apart. So I'm kind of supporting the inside piece of it. I'm just going to give it a little, this is actually like a textured surface, so I'm going to get, you can see all the dirt in there. Some people's are going to be much dirtier, I get it. Mine's not super dirty, but I clean mine pretty often. And check your warranty. If your oven's on warranty and then you go, oh, I did this and now I'm off warranty, like, you helped me void my warranty, Mr. Gizmo, that's on you, right? I'm telling you, it depends on your warranty, what you want to do with this. If it bothers you enough to want to try to clean it, that's on you, but check your warranty. Okay, so now if you look at it from the top, I can see my bald head in it, so we know that it's clean, and we'll start to reassemble the door. Okay, so the other nice part about putting it on your counter is you have complete control, so you can kind of hold pieces in place when you need to and start getting stuff put back assembled. There's only really, let's see, there's 6 screws all together. So I'm just going to quickly get these kind of restarted and put back in there. And then you're going to work your way from one side to the next. I find it easier to start at the bottom of the door and get these bottom screws in first, because that way it starts pulling it back together. The hinges are kind of holding it together to begin with, so it's really kind of an easier way to do it, I think. So get those started. And just monitor which screws you take out of what location too, because you can see, here I'll show you the difference real quick. These are spring screws, spring-loaded screws. You can see that they got like a different piece to them. They're not really springed, but they're longer. Then these pointy ones are the ones that go in the door. They're a little shorter. There are 4 of them that match, obviously go in the 4 of the door that you want to put back together. And just make sure when you're doing this that everything's kind of in its place, right? You don't want to crack the glass because it's got something in there, or it's got like, you just really don't, you know, you have it kind of cockeyed or something like that. You don't want to have that problem. So there you go. Now we got the 4 screws back in. So the door itself is all put back together. Last piece, we're just going to reassemble the handle. So the handle itself will be a little bit trickier. You might need a second set of hands because a lot of these things have lots of little pieces to them. There we go. So I know because we took it off, the handle goes in like this. So I'm just going to carefully get it under there. And then I always, having an oven mitt with you is always a good idea because you can rest your handle on it. And I can just kind of pull everything forward together as one. Like so. And then you just got to kind of get it fitted into its spot with the screw holes available where you can see them. And get it kind of screwed back together. Okay, here's one. Here's that one. Okay, you're just going to double check your screws, make sure they're nice and snug. You know, just take your time doing it, because some of these little pieces, they just have to be right. They just have to get just right, and then you'll see the door handle's nice and flush. Everything looks good. Looks like it should. And it's back together. And now check out your glass. It's nice and clean, both front and back. And all we have to do is put the door back on. Okay, so we're gonna put it back on. I know you probably noticed there's some small surface scratches that are on it before our time. Not us, didn't do it. Scrub Daddy doesn't put any surface scratches in. But now you see how your hinges are perfect, right? They're the same size, same like kind of angle that's on them. So we're just gonna fit the door back into the oven. And sorry, I gotta put my back to you guys a little bit to do this because it takes both hands to kind of get it up in place, right? And then once you get it in place, it's really pretty easy just to kind of shimmy it in there. And then you should be able to lay your door completely flat, like that. Pulled my black tape off. And then you're just putting these little secure pieces back down, one on each side, like that. And you're done. And your door now looks nice and clean, except for the couple fingerprints I put on it doing this on the outside, but now your door's nice and clean, and there you have it. Okay, so that's it. That's how you clean the inside glass of basically an electric Whirlpool oven, kind of standard run-of-the-mill oven. You can do the same thing with a gas oven as well. They are all a little bit different. So all of them have these screws on the outside. It will likely void your warranty. Check with your oven and things like that. But most people are looking to clean streaks and things that happen on the inside of the glass. That oven's old already, right? It's not a new oven that has that problem, or you don't have that issue with it. So that's how you do it. Subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up. Super thanks is always welcome. I hope this helps get that grease or that OCD off your back for getting that glass inside your oven door nice and clean. We'll see you next time.